is Palo Santo and how is it different from smudging with sage? If you want to watch me try Palo Santo for the very first time, then keep on watching. Hi there, I'm Mallory from tribaltradeco.com. Make sure that you subscribe and hit the bell for new videos every single week on smudging, Indigenous culture, and native teaching. At Tribal Trade Co., we talk a lot about smudging with sage. In fact, you may have learned how to smudge with sage yourself in one of our previous videos. We share a lot of tutorials and training on how to use sage to cleanse negative energy from your space, and today we're talking about Palo Santo. So if you're curious about what smudging is and how to do it yourself, you can check out one of our other videos right up here. But how is smudging compared to or different from Palo Santo? We love to teach you about Indigenous culture and native teachings, and sometimes that means exploring other concepts of cleansing and rituals as well. If you're not sure what Palo Santo is, then you're not alone. And if you want to see what it's like, watch this video to try out Palo Santo with me for the first time ever right now. Before we begin, if you're not familiar with smudging with sage or Palo Santo, what is smudging with sage? Smudging involves burning a bundle of sage, just like this one, wafting the smoke over your body or your space to cleanse it. This ritual is known as smudging. The plant that you're burning is the sage itself. Smudging can be used to cleanse negative energy, attract positive energy, improve your mood, and even has a wide variety of health benefits as well. Often smudging is accompanied by a smudge prayer or reciting some type of ritualistic saying, which can help you set the intentions or focus of your smudge. Smudging with sage has been a tradition by Indigenous communities and Indigenous people for generations. As an Anishinaabe and Indigenous person, I am very familiar with smudging and use smudging a lot in our YouTube channel. However, Palo Santo is something that is completely different that I have never used before. Now, Palo Santo is known as holy wood and it originates in Peru. Its earliest use dates back to ancient civilization, while sage comes from North America and its uses originates within North American Indigenous communities. Sage and Palo Santo are used in very similar ways. They both have amazing, powerful benefits, although it's believed that sage cleans energy while Palo Santo clears only negative energy and can invite in positive energy. Even though I have never used Palo Santo before, I have had some instructions and tips given to me, such as that sage and Palo Santo are used in very similar ways. They both have amazing and powerful benefits and can clear away negative energy and invite in positive energy. Sage is also known for having a much stronger scent than Palo Santo. It smells more herby. Palo Santo is said to have a sweeter and fresher scent than sage. Sage is also easier to keep lit and it's easier for large spaces, whereas Palo Santo won't burn as long. So while sage and Palo Santo are very similar to each other, their uses are slightly different, but today is honestly the very first time that I've ever had Palo Santo, used it, so I wanted to do it with you guys. If you're curious to learn more about Palo Santo, so am I. That's why I am trying out Palo Santo for the very first time. I would love to know in the comments if you have ever used Palo Santo before, if you've ever smudged with sage, what your experiences have been like, and how you might be able to guide me on this experience. But here we go. I am going to walk you guys through my experience of trying Palo Santo for the very first time. So this package of Palo Santo I actually purchased directly off Amazon from a company that is called Beercera. So this is 100% sustainably sourced Peruvian Palo Santo. Now, I knew that Palo Santo originated or comes from Peru, and this is as authentic as it gets, I believe, is even though the packaging is very professional and I would say modern looking. They do have some traditional elements, as in the material that they're using does seem very sustainable, but the description of Palo Santo is actually directly on the back here. So from this company called Bursera, it has 5 wooden incense sticks inside. It says, bring in positivity and get grounded with Palo Santo, the mystical South American incense wood traditionally used for therapeutic, physical, and energy healing purposes. When burned, it produces aromatic smoke, helping purify the air, inspire creativity, and cleanse energy with a pleasant, woody, and enriching scent. Now, who doesn't want more creativity, right? These are some pretty awesome benefits. Now it says, at Bursera, we only source trees that have died naturally and have been resting on the forest floor for several years. Our CIFOR certified harvesting process ensures that no living trees are ever cut down, period. Not only does this help preserve Palo Santo, it leads to the potent, effective, and premium quality that is expected of all Bursera products. Now, this is the first product that I've ever purchased of this Bursera company, but I'm excited to give it a try. So the directions on here says to light the end of the stick using a candle until there is a small flame. It may take up to a minute. Once lit, let the Palo Santo burn for 10 to 20 seconds, then blow out so only the smoke remains. Now, I don't have a candle, but I'm just gonna use a match. Cleanse a space by painting the air with a fragrant smoke, then place it in a Palo Santo holder or a fireproof bowl until the smoke ceases naturally, which will take up to a minute. Each stick can be relit several dozen times. All right, so that's similar, very, very similar to smudging with sage. When you're smudging with sage, you need to use a fire-safe bowl as well, or you can just hold your smudge stick. But the only difference, I guess you could say, with using a smudge bowl for smudging is that you will get a better burn if you break apart your smudge or your sage bundle, right? If you take the string off or whatever is keeping it intact, if you break it apart, it will allow the sage to burn a lot better because it'll have air being able to access the sage leaves. Whereas with the Palo Santo stick, I don't think you can break it apart like that. But I haven't opened up the package, so we'll see. Okay, it also says Palo Santo burns differently than traditional incense sticks and does not stay lit, but produces a one-of-a-kind smell that has made it popular across generations. Take caution when burning. All right, let's take caution when burning. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is place my sage bundle to the side. And I have my smudging feather here too, but it doesn't seem like that's something that we're gonna need for our Palo Santo. Okay, so I'm gonna put my sage bundle to the side with my eagle feather. Now I'm thinking that if it doesn't work well with the matches, I might need to use a candle, but I guess we'll see how long it takes for the Palo Santo wood to catch flame. Let the Palo Santo burn for 10 to 20 seconds, then blow out so only the smoke remains. So that's very different from smudging. You never want to blow out your sage. You want to let it blow out naturally. All right, it almost smells minty. Like mint. Light the end of the stick using a candle until there's a small flame. It may take up to a minute. Okay, so I don't think that a candle, I think that might be why you want to use a candle instead of a match, because a match might not stay lit for a full minute. So let's just try it first, and if necessary, we will get. So as it says, it might take a minute. So what I'm gonna do is just drop the match in here so I don't burn. So similar to smudging with sage, you want your sage to just be like smoke. You want to use the smoke to actually smudge, right? Not the flame. Otherwise, it'll just all burn up immediately and be gone, disintegrated. So with the Palo Santo, it seems like that is consistent with smudging. So instead of blowing it, which I don't really want to do, I'm just going to do that. So now, so you can see it's burning really nicely there. It does smell really good. So I suppose you could use a feather if you wanted to, but I don't think I want to. Okay, so you could, I think what a lot of people do is they use the Palo Santo to like waft it around the room to purify the space and get those positive energies flowing around you, getting rid of the negative energy, enhancing creativity, like it says. Or you can just use it, you could keep it right within your fireproof bowl or abalone shell and burn it that way. Do you guys think it's better to use a feather to waft it around your hand, or just wave the stick? I kind of like using just the stick. I never use a smudge stick and waft it around, but I can see how it's kind of nice to do that with the Palo Santo stick. Now, I'm a little bit sick right now, but the smell of the smoke is very different from the sage. It's very woody. It almost smells like a subtle like sauna smell, like how it smells when you're in the sauna. It's very, very nice though. So you're supposed to waft it around the room, and then you don't want to burn the entire stick like it says. So similar to smudging, you want the smoke to burn out on its own. You want the smoke to cease on its own. And similar to smudging, it's very important to not blow out your smudge stick on, or your smudge bowl on it. You don't want to interfere with it at all. You want to let it blow out naturally. And that seems similar to the instructions for the Palo Santo. Now it smells amazing over here. I'd say it's almost like a minty, fresh smell, which I really like. But I like it. This is my first time ever trying Palo Santo, and I really, really like it. All right, and it says that you can, each stick can be relit several dozen times. So that's awesome. Compared to smudging, I'd say that the stick, I'm just assuming, I'll have to try it out, but I'm assuming that it would last much longer than sage, just given how much is burnt here. It's interesting. There's like almost like a gum, like a liquid that's coming out of the Palo Santo, which is interesting. All right, well, I really like that. I didn't go around and smudge, but I'll show you guys some footage of me doing that. But I really, really enjoyed that first time trying the Palo Santo. So thank you guys so much. Let me know what your thoughts are. If you've ever smudged with sage, or if you've ever used Palo Santo before, let me know in the comments. Let me know if the instructions for using Palo Santo is different than what I read off of this package from Bursera. If there's other methods that I should try next time, or if you have any feedback for me on my experience, I would love to know in the comments. Let me know if you have any questions as well. Thank you so much for watching, guys. And if you have any other things that you would like me to try on the channel relating to smudging, questions about Indigenous culture, Indigenous cultural practices, or smudging with sage, or using Palo Santo, and I can look into that for you as well. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you have an amazing day, and we will see you next time.